Hey guys, and welcome to today's video. I am super excited today because I finally got my Beauty Bakerie order in, and I am happy to say that today's video will be testing the new Cake Mix foundation. I honestly don't know much about Beauty Bakerie. I know they have some really awesome lip whips that last forever. But other than that, I have not tried anything of theirs, so I feel like I'm starting this review with a very clean impression and very what's the word? Very objectively. So if you go to the Beauty Bakerie website here, you have the Cake Mix Demi Matte Foundation, and the description says, the Cake Mix Demi Matte Foundation serves up medium to full coverage for a smudge-proof, skin-smoothing finish. Creamy but lightweight so it won't clog your pores, Cake Mix Demi Matte Foundation is infused with vitamin E to protect your skin and keep you looking sweet. Cake Mix comes in 30 vegan and paraben-free shades, so don't be afraid to mix up your daily recipe and cake it on for a full baked beat. They also include some tips here, if you have dry skin, if you have oily skin, how to set it, how to prep. And there's also a benefits section on here. Okay, so the benefits: medium to full coverage, demi matte smoothing finish, buildable and blendable, silicone-based creamy and lightweight texture. Ooh, some people don't like silicone-based foundation, so if you don't, just be careful. This one is silicone-based. Won't clog your pores, smudge-proof, infused with vitamin E, vegan, cruelty-free, paraben-free, and sulfate-free. Now, like the website said, it does come in 30 shades, which is a pretty good shade range. A lot of brands are really starting to realize that, 15 shades, 10 shades just don't cut it. There's way more people or way more shades in this world than there are currently on the market right now. And then on the website they have these two links. There's Find Your Perfect Shade and Shade Comparison Guide. So if you click Find Your Perfect Shade, there's a picture of someone wearing that shade of foundation. So like shade number 1, this is what shade number 1 looks like. And unfortunately, this goes I think all the way up to 59, if I'm not mistaken. And guess which one I bought? Shade 59. The lightest shade. That was my comparison, and I thought, the next one up I think didn't really look like me. So if that didn't work for you, they do have the shade comparison guide, and this compares their shade with similar shades in other foundations. So the one that I looked at was 59, and it said that if you are Kat Von D Locket Tattoo Light 46 Cool, I think I'm actually lighter than that. Too Faced Born This Way in Pearl, I'm also lighter than that. And Clinique Beyond Perfecting in 5 Fair, and I've actually never tried that one. But this is what it looks like here. It shows you all the shades that should match the shade around this one, which is kind of cool. So if you have a favorite and you see it on this list, you can kind of help gauge where your shade might be. And I think this retails for a fairly reasonable price, to be honest with you. It's $28, and considering if you buy like a NARS foundation, that's like $45. The Kat Von D Locket one I think is $42. $28, really? It's honestly not that terrible of a deal, especially if this is as good as I'm hoping it is. Now, I picked up this box from our office, I think Friday or Saturday, so I haven't had it very long. I haven't opened any of the packaging, but I did open the box. And this is something that I really did want to share with you. I feel like at this point I've already rambled and you're going to be like, girl, come on, test the foundation. But I did think that this was really important for me to share. So when you open this box, you're greeted with a little card here. And it says, because what's a party without a surprise? And anytime I see little cards like this, I just kind of think that they're like, oh, 20% off coupon code or 15% off. But if you read the back, this is like the most amazing thing I think I've ever seen a brand do. So the card reads, hey sweetie, we know that finding the perfect foundation shade online can be tricky. So to make the experience a little sweeter for your first foundation order, which is this, I've never purchased it before, We're also gifting you the next closest match to the shade you chose and a blending egg to help you get that perfect baked meat. Why? Because we love our sweets and you trusted us to help you make your decision. All of us at Beauty Bakery spent countless hours cooking up the perfect mix for you, and now it's time for you to enjoy. And then there's a little note here at the bottom. It says, if you love both shades, they're yours to keep. If you don't need one of them, sweeten the life of someone you love by gifting the shade that doesn't work for you. If neither shade works for you, send both back for a refund of your original purchase. I honestly could not believe what I was reading, because that is incredibly generous of Beauty Bakery to offer that to their customers. You know, most of these shades right now are sold out online. That's a lot of foundation that they went through for this. So anyway, I opened up the box and lo and behold, we have shade 57, which is not the shade I ordered. This is the extra shade. And shade 59. This is the shade that I had originally ordered. How awesome is that? So, surprise! We actually have two shades to try today. First off, the packaging I think is super cute. It really does look like a little box of cake mix. And they do such a great job, honestly, with all their packaging. If you just take a glance at their website, it's all so cute. And it's all baking themed. But I do kind of feel like the packaging is slightly wasteful, because this is like the box that it comes in. But the actual foundation is only this big, so I mean, you could probably fit 2 or 3 in here without all this extra stuff, you know? I'm going to go ahead and start out with shade 59, since this was the original one that I had ordered. Oh yes. Yes, it's a pump. Thank you. Y'all know that right now the Estee Lauder Double Wear is my absolute favorite foundation for oily skin, but boy, it really ticks me off that that foundation does not have a freaking pump. So big props for this one to having a pump, thank you. So I've already washed, moisturized, and primed my skin, so I'm just going to go ahead and get into this. I want to see how this works. So I've got my EcoTool sponge. It said that there was a free sponge in here, but I didn't see it, so no worries. I mean, I got 2 foundations. I don't think I have the right to complain about a missing sponge. Alright, so I squirted some out on the sponge, and I'm just gonna go ahead and give this a try. I kind of felt like the shade looked darker than I was anticipating in the tube, so I'm actually thinking this one's going to be my best match. If this doesn't oxidize too much more, this color is so spot on. But that means that 57 is probably a little too dark. But it might be okay in the summertime when I am like slightly less pale. To give it the fairest shot, I did apply it with a sponge, because that is usually my go-to on the daily. And I didn't want to try something that I think, you know, was just going to make it do something that I didn't like. I wanted to use something that I knew what I liked, what I trusted, and it's almost like completely dried down. It feels very powdery. It's still a little tacky in spots, but for the most part, it dries down really quickly and leaves it feeling very powdery and very matte. I am getting some creasing on my lids a little bit, but about half. I would say about half of the foundations that I have do that, so it's not like a deal breaker or anything, but I'm going to go ahead and put on a little bit of makeup, and I'll be right back and let you know how this performed with that as well. Alright, so I have a little bit of makeup on now, and honestly, this is really the best I think my skin has looked after foundation application, with everything, you know, all the basic stuff on it. Nothing looks cakey. Usually it starts to look cakey like around my nose and my smile lines, but I don't have any of that right now. And everything blended so beautifully on top of it. I had no issues whatsoever. I think it did oxidize just a wee bit, So it's not quite my shade anymore, but it's not like a whole shade darker or anything. It's just slightly off. So the shade got a little bit darker, and as one of the downsides, I keep looking in the mirror because I'm checking on it, is if you have really bad allergies like I do and your eyes water a lot, this didn't seem like it was going to stand up against that. I know you probably can't tell, but over here in the corner of my eye and kind of in the tear duct is where it has already started to break apart because my eyes are watering so badly today. So, I don't see this working really great if one, I have really bad allergies and my eyes are watering, or two, if say you get caught in like heavy rain, or I don't know, you want it to last. And the Estee Lauder one actually does that for me. My eyes can water all day and it'll still look fine. But this one has already broken apart and I've had it on like, I don't know, 20 minutes. The foundation goes on beautifully. Everything else goes on great on top of the foundation. It has a pump, which is like 10,000 like aimee points for it, which don't count as anything, but it's a big deal that it actually has a pump. And the shade range is really wonderful. Now, I did buy the lightest shade. This is the lightest shade, so if you are paler than me, you really don't have a great option. And even though this is the lightest shade, it did oxidize a little bit, so it's not quite my shade anymore, but it's, like I said, it's still okay. But there are people out there who are way paler than I am, and I feel like that end of the shade range is kind of lacking. Like, they could probably have made, I don't know, at least 2 or 3 more shades lighter than this one for, very, very pale-skinned people. Otherwise, you know, the deep end of the spectrum is wonderful. It looks amazing. It covers all the undertones and the skin tones. I just think the fair end of the range could probably use a little more work. Oh my god, y'all. I didn't even notice this. I was trying to open the other shade that I got, and I just realized that it opens like this too. How cute. I'll also try to test out this other shade that I received as well. This is shade 57, so this is supposedly one darker than the one that I got, but I think sometimes like the pink undertones in these make them seem darker than they really are, because I think this one's supposed to be like a neutral one, and it actually looks a little bit lighter than the one I tried. I hope you guys did find this review helpful, and if you did like this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up, and remember to hit that subscribe button either down below or up here in the corner before you leave. I hope you guys are having an awesome week. I hope this week is just loads better than last week, because I was having a pretty rough week last week. And I will catch you guys in my next video. Bye y'all.